Hello, Professor Rowan. This is my review assignment for Herbology 101. Lesson number 1. Herbology is the study and use of both magical and non-magical plants. A herbologist is any witch or wizard who has an understanding of the nature and properties of plants. Why do we study herbology? By knowing the difference between different plant roots like cherry and blackthorn, we can get a gist of the nature and choices of spells of a wizard. If we confuse some plant ingredients in potions, we can get disastrous results. Without legitimate knowledge of herbology, this world would indeed be a very dangerous place. For herbology, we will require protective equipment, which are mentioned here as a mask, earmuffs, apron, dragonhide gloves, a wand, and we should also wear closed-toe shoes. Caring for plants. For this purpose, we would require dragon dung, mooncalf dung, and centaur tears. Dragon dung is a scentless, strong, powerful, and nutritious fertilizer. Mooncalf dung, as compared to dragon dung, is a gentler, not very powerful fertilizer and is used for more sensitive plants. Centaur tears are more vitamin-rich than regular water. Many plants grow healthily and abundantly around the dwelling place of a centaur, but they are toxic to plants that grow in salty water. Lesson number 2. Some factors to consider while planting a plant are sunlight, water, and soil. Repotting. Plants enjoy repotting. They like the freshness of a new pot. Plants may change their diet while repotting. Large pots build confidence. Amount of sunlight remains same while amount of water may fluctuate. Habitat change may cause disruptions of life cycles. Dreamless sleep potion. Two main ingredients for this potion are moonstone and starbuck. Moonstone is a hatched piece of a dragon's egg, while starbuck is a plant. It is essential for a dreamless sleep. It possesses hypnotic qualities and promotes the user's inability to think. Draught of the living death. By mixing an infusion of warm wood and some powdered root of asphodel, we would produce a sleeping potion so powerful it is known as the draught of the living death. Here are pictures of wormwood, asphodel, and a vial of draught of the living death. Plant ingredients add scent, taste, and freshness to a potion. They also add naturalness to a beauty potion. The forgetfulness potion is composed of mistletoe berries and valerian sprigs. Mistletoe berries causes hallucinations and helps in memory loss, while valerian sprigs sedates the user and also cause forgetfulness. Lesson number 3. Jillyweed. It is native to Mediterranean Sea. It is slimy and grey-green looking. Its pH requirement is 7.9 to 8.4. It reaches a height of 5 to 7 centimeter. It requires lots of water and little sunlight. Gillyweed user temporarily gains gills and webs for an hour in fresh water and for 3 hours in salt water. Valerian roots and sprigs are native to Europe, some of Asia, and North America. They form beautiful white flowers. Its pH requirement is 4.5 to 5.0. It can reach a height of 5 feet. It requires at least 7 hours of sunlight. The grooms wear the roots at weddings to ward off elves. Its roots possess sedative powers. The sprig is used in sleeping potions. They are also used to relieve anxiety, tension, and irritability. It's also used in perfumes. It can attract cats. Next is knotgrass. Knotgrass is native to European forests and Hogwarts Forbidden Forest. Its flowers vary in color from white, pink, and green. Its pH requirement is 6.1 to 6.5 to 6.6 to 7.3. It can reach a height of 2 inches to 14 feet. It requires lots of sunlight and water. It is also present at weddings and is symbolic of tying together of two people. It halts growth of animals and is used in Polyjuice potion. Dittany is native only to the mountainside of Crete, Greece. Liquid dittany is brown in color. Its pH requirement is 6.6 to 7.3. It reaches a height of 20 cm to 30 cm. It requires low amounts of water and 13 degrees Celsius. It aids in ailments and prevents permanent scarring. It is also used in Wickenwald potion. Next up is lesson number 4. Mandrake is native to European countries. It is shaped like a parsnip and resembles a tobacco plant. It has wrinkled roots with the shape of a bean. It can reach a height of 5 cm to 40 cm. Earmuffs and dragonhide gloves are necessary to pull out mandrakes. It can cause comas, hallucinations, and puts people in dreamlike states. It can revive petrified people and creatures. Fully grown mandrake screams causes death, while young one's screams causes faintness. The potioneer Emeritus Spencer discovered aquatandici potion to stop the screams of mandrake. It is also used in love potions and sleeping potions. The Tandici injection is required to reverse mandrake-induced coma, but death cannot be reversed. Devil's Snare. Devil's Snare is native to Scottish high and lowlands. It has swaying tendrils and a vivid green color. It grows in dark and damp places. It hates heat and sunlight. Struggling makes it kill us faster. It is used to guard objects, assassinate enemies, or to distract. It should not be placed 1,000 meters of anywhere near muggles. Runner weight and anapneo spells are useful for first aid purposes. Bubble tuber is also native to Scotland. It looks like a giant black slug. It grows in dark and damp places. It requires dark areas, nutrient-rich soil, very little sunlight, and can endure very cold weathers. It releases gas-scented yellow pus when squeezed. Diluted pus treats acne, while undiluted form causes rashes and burns. It can be diluted with dittany or jelly water. Lesson number 5. Rat root, Acorus calamus, aka sea sledge, hagroot, myrtle grass, sweet myrtle, gladden, and beewort. It looks as a reed-like perennial. It grows in soils that can hold a lot of water. It can grow to a height of 1 meter. May be used as a substitute for nutmeg, cinnamon, and ginger. It is viewed as a symbol of love, but on the contrary, used as a tool against women. It is an abortifacient, sedative, laxative, hallucinogen, diuretic, anthelmintic, carminative, cures ear aches, relieves pain, and used in some love potions. Herbologist Nicholas Culpeper suggested its use as strengthening of stomach and mind. Lesson number 6. Bouncing bulb, aka Resilio bulbus. It is bulb-shaped with a few green leaves coming out of its top. It is purple in color. It jumps when not restrained at a person they see as a threat. Its pH requirement is neutral. Its soil requirement is as much as can fill a bathtub. It can reach a height the size of a doorway. Smaller bulbs can be restrained with flipendojinx, while larger bulbs can be restrained with incendio charm. The leaves' usage in potions can boost energy. Gurdy root. It looks like green onions with a foul scent and boggy-like taste. Its drink is reddish-purple in color. It reaches a height of 15 cm in diameter in a lot of sunlight. Its soil requirement is nutritious. It is used to ward off evil, including gulping plimpies. Its pot should be 7.5 times the size of the gurdy root. It should be protected from bugs by using non-peruribus spell. Aconite, also known as aconitum, monkshood, wolfsbane, the queen of poisons, devil's helmet, blue rocket, woman's bane, and leopard's bane. It originates from the Greek word akonitos, meaning without dust or without struggle. It is common in the wild, in forests, and in mountainous ranges of moderate temperatures. Its soil requirement is nutritious. It grows in shady places, and its leaves are toxic. It is a poisonous sedative, and death occurs from large doses. Dragonhide gloves are a requirement for taking care of this plant. Wormwood, aka absinthe. It is native to Europe. It grows to a height of 1 to 2 meters. It is a bitter herb that grows in salt water. It has woody-like roots with 2 to 8 inches of leaves. It is associated with sorrow and bitterness. Its use in potions helps with digestive disorders, also treats fever, gallbladder, and liver disease. It has the ability to reduce pain, settle the stomach, increase hunger, stimulate the imagination, and induce sweating. Lesson number 7. Magical plants are more temperamental than non-magical plants. As compared to non-magical plants, which are more stable, magical plants sometimes cause explosions, major heat changes, and sometimes disastrous mishaps may occur. Lily plants. Lily flowers are blue, pink, purple, orange, yellow, and white in color, while its stems are green, red, or purple. The shape of lilies ranges from bowl, funnel, recurved Turk's cap, trumpet, and star. It requires a bulb to plant and a nutrient-rich soil. It reaches a height of 1 to 10 feet. It requires 5 to 6 hours of sunlight and regular water. They attract birds but are poisonous to cats and measles. They are a high source of fiber, regulates heart conditions, treats burns, and prevents scar tissues from forming. Its remedies, including lily, may be used to treat spider bites and stroke. The lily tea treats coughs, fevers, stomach disorders, bounce, swollen bruised areas, and sores. The scent of a lily is used by muggles for aromatherapy and by wizards as an antidepressant. English rose, Rosa. It is a shrub. Roses are white, red, pink, green, orange, or blue in color. Its pH requirement is 5.5 to 7. It reaches a height of 1 foot to 20 feet. Its width is 2 feet to 4 feet. Its soil requirement is nutritious with dragon dung. Dragonhide gloves are a requirement for taking care of this plant. Rose oil is very costly and should be consulted with healers or potioners before use. Pliny the Elder, a Muggle, discovered 32 medicinal uses for rose oil. Ponticus, a herbologist, discovered 36 uses, and 4 more were discovered after that. Roses add flavor in medicines and is also used as aromatherapy. Some of its medicinal uses are: it is an antiseptic, antibacterial, and antiviral. It eases fevers, colds, headaches, stress, grief, and insomnia. It is an anti-inflammatory, antidepressant, antispasmodic, and an astringent. It can cure diarrhea, influenza, eye diseases, sore throats, and snow blindness. It is a source of vitamin C, has cleansing properties, stops nosebleeds, treats rabid dog bites, helps with kidneys, and is a menstrual regulator. Lesson number 8. The gardening effect. The gardening effect has a negative effect on the field for over the last 300 years. Muggles believe that every material thing exists. This led them to believe that the natural world is just a toy and made life dry. The magical community caught on to this concept too, though they did believe in the invisible world. They thought that anything that is natural is mundane and inferior. They included plants in this too, but plants are either magical or muggle, never mundane. If anybody knows that you are a herbologist, they will turn away from you and possibly ridicule you. Herbologists are not adequately funded for their research, and only potioners do so. They have lower wages than other fields and face family pressures. That might be the possible reason why many people turn to more respectable fields to follow in their lives. Alien species. These are invasive species that are non-indigenous and exotic. They live out of their original habitat. They take over an environment and grow in such large numbers that the ecosystem cannot handle them. The plants propagate and adapt to this new environment. Here's an image of the alien species known as yellow toad flax. Hazards of alien species. Alien species require more resources and drain the ecosystem. Other plants cannot survive and even become extinct because the alien species take too much water. They destroy the arable land. They enhance flood and fire risks by changing the environment. And lastly, largrass. Plants growing in natural habitats such as largrass soothes morning sickness, so they are eaten by pregnant crops along with their regular meat diet. Carnivorous crops eat them too. Here are the sources that I used to make my presentation. Thank you.